I was just updating my 2024 luxury wish list when I realized that I should probably start paying closer attention to which luxury pieces I use often enough to justify the, at this point, ridiculous luxury prices. So over the past week, I actually tracked which Hermes pieces I reached for most often. And in today's video, we'll not just be discussing conceptual appreciation and admiration for designs. Instead, we'll be looking at cold hard facts, and I'll be sharing with you the Hermes pieces I am truly getting my money's worth out of because I use them so often. Because at the end of the day, it's incredibly important for me to not only spend my own money on pieces that I can use and enjoy, but I would like to make sure that the pieces I put on your radar are things that you will not regret at the end of the day. So without further ado, if you'd like to see the most used Hermes pieces in my collection, the ones that I feel like most of these I would repurchase, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and keep on watching. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you'll probably not be surprised by most of these pieces, and I understand that these are not the most impressive Hermes pieces I have ever purchased, but that really doesn't matter if these are the things that I can actually put to use, because when it comes to spending so much money on a luxury on necessity, I really want to make sure that if I'm going to put the money into something, I am going to get that money back because of how much joy and use I get out of these pieces. That's the only way I can justify spending so much money on really anything luxury. And I'm also hoping that this will help me. I think this will be a good jump off point for me to figure out where I should be investing my money in the new year and kind of narrow down what are the different lines and type of products that I actually am able to use and enjoy on a regular basis. Because to me, buying things that will just end up on a shelf collecting dust or end up in the bottom of a drawer, to me, those are not purchases that I can personally justify. But without further ado, let's dive straight in. And I'm going to start with a relatively small purchase, but something that I use all day, every day. So this had to go on my list of most used Hermes pieces, which is my Hermes lip balm. This is the Rosy Lip Enhancer lip balm. So this is not the original lip balm that they launched. I did buy that one as well, but I wasn't the biggest fan. I prefer this range, which I think there are 4 different shades in the range now, and they all give just the slightest hint of color, if I can call it that, because it's more of a hue than an actual color. As the name suggests, they just help to enhance your natural lip color. There is a light pink shade, there is a deep rosy shade, and then there's rose apricot, which is the one that I use, which is an orange, and I really don't think that it makes my lips look orange. No one's ever told me that my lips look orange. I think it is just more of like a really neutral shade. If anything, it just makes your lips look a little bit more vibrant. But this is how much I have left. Obviously these are refillable, and I have, I think, 2 or 3 refills still in my bathroom, because anytime they have these in stock, I try to buy a couple of them. I never buy all of them because I want other people to have access to them too, but I usually pick up a couple of them, so I'm never without this. It's obviously a refillable lip balm, so you only have to buy the bullet once, and then you can buy as many refills as you want, and you can also buy the refill in different colors if you're not happy with the color that you ended up with, or you maybe bought a lipstick and now you want to try a lip balm. You don't have to throw away your lipstick case. You can actually refill it with the lip balm, and it is just a really nice, really soothing lip balm. I don't think it is the most nourishing, most moisturizing lip balm. If you have really dry lips, you definitely want something richer, especially at night. So I actually have a big tub of Vaseline by my bed, which I use at night almost as a lip mask. But this is what I use during the day. I also like the finish. It's not too shiny, but it's not too matte either. It is just a great lip balm that smells great, tastes great, and it's not overwhelming. I mean, how much more can I go on about when it comes to a lip balm? It is just a really nice treat. I can't remember exactly how much these are, but I'll make sure to put the price up on the screen here. It's definitely not inexpensive, especially compared to other lip balms out there. But if you love Hermes, if you're looking for a little treat, this is something that I do think you will get your money's worth out of. Of course, as long as you don't forget to put this in your bag. Speaking of which, this is my next purchase that I use every single day, no matter what bag I carry. This is something that comes everywhere with me. I never want to be without this, which is my Bolide cosmetic case. This is something that I have been talking about for years, since the very inception of my channel, and I love these things. They come in several different sizes. Obviously, they are inspired by the shape of the Bolide bag. This is, I think this is called the mini. There is a small, and then there is an even larger size. And then if you want something even bigger, you will not find it in the core Bolide line, but they do this exact same shape in the kit section, which you can find with really funky, quirky prints. So if you want something even bigger, don't forget to look at the Hermes baby section. But anyway, going back to the core line, they do these in a handful of different shades every single season. Of course, I have it in black, but I have also bought this in the natural color, which is kind of similar to Nata. And then I also bought, I think, the largest size in orange. But this is the one that I use most often. In hindsight, I probably should have bought the medium size, which is just a tiny bit bigger than this. And the price difference isn't really that big. I think this is just around $400, maybe 400, and it's somewhere between $400 and $450. And then the medium size, which is the next size up, I think is just under $500. So in hindsight, I probably should have bought that. But if you're a fan of mini bags, but you want to make sure that you are never without all your necessities, this is of course a great piece to invest in. I use this every single day, not only for traveling, because I have things like usually my lip balm in here, I have a little hand sanitizer, I have wipes, I have things like peppermint oil. If I have an upset tummy, I usually take one of those. I have, what else do I have in here? I have band-aids, I have little fragrances, I have a Louis Vuitton Métier Noir fragrance here, which I have been wearing. I bought the full size of this, and then I'm pretty sure I have an Hermes sample in here. I cannot find it, but I do think I have an Amber Narguilé sample in here somewhere, because I just put that on the other day. But anyway, there's a lot you can fit in here. You can also put, if you wear makeup, you can put something like a powder or whatever you put on your face in here too. And this will help you make sure that you stay nice and organized. Not to mention that if you don't use inserts in your bags, but you want to protect the lining, this is a great way to do that. So I am a huge fan of cosmetic pouches, and I do think that this is the best Hermes has to offer. I am not exaggerating when I tell you that I spent years building my Hermes tableware collection, not only because Hermes tableware is quite pricey and I didn't want to spend thousands of dollars all at once, but also because Hermes tableware can be extremely hard to find, because they rarely, if ever, have a full set in stock. Not to mention that I didn't buy, well, I stayed within the same collection, but I actually mixed and matched different shapes. So obviously Hermes has a suggestion on how you should build your collection, but you can do whatever you want. You can pick and choose pieces from different collections, or you can stick to the same collection as I did, but choose different shapes, especially if it is a more expensive collection like the Mosaic collection, which is the one that I have in platinum. But in hindsight, I don't think that is the collection I would... If I had to restart my collection, I probably wouldn't start with the Mosaic collection for two reasons. Number one, it is just a little bit too ornate and perhaps a little overdone for my liking at this point. And then the other and main reason is that they are not dishwasher safe, which, call me lazy, but I just love being able to put dishes in the dishwasher. I don't want to spend time hand washing my things. I mean, I'll still pull out my Mosaic pieces whenever I have guests over or whenever I'm in the mood. I'll still use my mugs, but I definitely don't use them as often as I used to. So if I was to restart my Hermes tableware collection, I don't think I would start with the Mosaic collection. Instead, I would probably turn to one of the dishwasher safe collections, which just make life so much easier. So I would either start with the Soleil d'Hermes collection or the Sot collection, which is the newest addition to the Hermes tableware lineup. But the Soleil d'Hermes cups are by far some of my most used Hermes pieces. I have a few of these and I use these every single morning. Usually I would have a cup of tea in here, but I am going through, I think I'm on my third round of bleaching my teeth with my dentist, which you probably won't be able to tell because I have my lights set on warm. But it means that I can only have one cup of tea in the morning and I cannot have any more of it, which is quite sad because I don't drink anything else but water, tea with a lot of oat milk, and Diet Coke, and the only thing I can drink now is water. Anyway, I'm not going to spend more time here with a little violin crying over that, but I do love these mugs, and I love the fact that they not only add a pop of color to your home, especially if your home is more monochromatic and more muted like mine, but they are also so much easier to care for. You can have a cup of tea and then just immediately put it in the dishwasher. It's not something that you have to soak and then hand wash. So if you are looking for a little treat similar to a lip balm, something that you can use on a regular basis, whether you are a tea drinker or a coffee drinker, these I know are things that you are going to get your money's worth out of. You can use these every day, all day, and you know, this is just a beautiful investment, although I'm using that term loosely here, but it is something that I think you would be able to use often enough to justify the pretty ridiculous price. This next piece I just talked about, I think it was my last video or the one before, where I shared 5 extremely overdone Hermes pieces. I would personally not spend my money on it at this point, but this is something that I continue reaching for regardless because I think it fills a gap in my collection. So it is something that I am looking to replace in 2024. But credit needs to be given where credit is due. So the next piece that I have been wearing a lot is my Kelly belt from Hermes, obviously. And I have been wearing this for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is one of my thinnest belts. Most of my Hermes belts are a lot thicker than this, and they all have a really chunky buckle. Even the ones that don't feature a loud H will be a little bit more bulky than this one, so that is something I really appreciate about this belt. And I also like the fact that it really beautifully pulls an outfit together. So this is something that I have been reaching for quite a bit, and if you would like to find out what I'm going to be replacing this with, or I'll try my best, I'm not sure how it's going to work out, stay tuned because I will be sharing my updated wish list in the coming weeks. There are a couple of belts on there, but this is definitely something that I am still using a lot. I have been trying to play around with it and make it feel just a little bit more unique, just because so many people have this belt at this point, which there's nothing wrong with, but I still want my pieces to be a little bit more unique. So I don't think I would necessarily repurchase this belt. If I was to buy a comparable belt to this, I think I would either buy the Medor belt, which features the same mechanism as this one, but instead of the Kelly buckle, you have the Medor CDC buckle, or I'll share with you what I would buy instead. But I have to be honest, I understand why this piece is so popular, because it is really just a no-brainer. You can throw this on with anything and it will really just blend in really beautifully. You know, I couldn't do a video on my most used and worn pieces without mentioning at least a couple pieces of Hermes knits, because these are things that I really wear on a daily basis. I know that Hermes's knits are outrageously expensive, but I have to be honest, their knits are really, really quite delicious. They are extremely luxurious, super soft and plush. They are really just exquisite. I mean, I could do a video comparing Loro Piana, even Brunello Cucinelli, and Hermes's cashmere knits. If it's something that you would like to see, let me know, although it sounds like quite a niche idea. But if it's something that you would like me to do a video on, let me know in the comment section. I would be happy to do so. But at the end of the day, I think they are quite comparable, and I really do enjoy Hermes's knits. I think their cashmere knits wear beautifully. They are insanely soft. They come in some really nice colors. So I am planning on adding another piece of knit to my collection this coming year. But the two that I picked out are actually my two latest additions to my Hermes knits collection. This is one that I picked up not last year but the year before, which features this really, I don't know if you can see it here, but it features this really subtle H, not quilting, it's sort of like an H pattern woven into the fabric, but it's done in a really subtle, quiet way, which I really appreciate. And this is 100% cashmere knit, which is just heavenly soft. I don't think this design is being offered for the new spring summer season, but Hermes is doing a line of baby cashmere knits for men. So if you're a fan of the softest, plushiest cashmere, definitely check out the baby cashmere pieces. I have not had a chance to play around with this new line of baby cashmere pieces from Hermes, but I have tried on. I don't think I've ever purchased a baby cashmere piece from Hermes before, but I have tried on some coats in baby cashmere and they were just heavenly. But I am looking forward to trying on some of the new baby cashmere pieces. I think there is a really simple crew neck. They are doing, I think, one that has a zip in the front. Yeah, and I think those are the two. I think there's definitely a third design too that I cannot remember. But as soon as I try them, of course, you guys will be the first to know. So anyway, if you're interested, do keep in mind that Hermes is doing a much more simple line of cashmere pieces without the quilting, which personally I would prefer. And you're probably thinking, gee, you haven't mentioned a bag yet, which strictly speaking, I didn't use any Hermes bags last week. But if I had to pick my most used Hermes bag, it would probably be, I'm just looking to see, I think it would probably be my grooming bag, which if you have not seen, I will make sure to link my in-depth review on up here. It is by far one of my most used and most loved Hermes bags because I really feel that it suits my lifestyle. Some of my more elaborate, more impressive, and also more delicate bags, I really don't think I can really use at this point. They just really don't suit my lifestyle. I'm not someone who drives everywhere. I don't even take an Uber everywhere I go. So for me, when it comes to some of my more expensive bags, I just don't feel comfortable throwing them over my shoulder and just hoping for the best. I want to make sure that I invest in pieces that I feel comfortable using and enjoying. And if there's something that I really have to baby and worry about too much, I know that personally I am just simply not going to use. So that basically also answers what my least used Hermes pieces are, which are definitely my more elaborate, more intricate, and also more delicate bags. I would say that my most used Hermes bags at this point are the grooming bag, my Herbac 39, even though I didn't use it last week, that is a bag that I still have reached for time and time again, and also my Kelly wallets. Those are still things that I reach for quite often. And then one more thing that I forgot to mention, but is something that I probably used quite a lot last week too, or I didn't use these, I have been wearing these, which are my Hermes rings. You guys know that I'm a big ring person, so I love my Shantung ring, which I always have stacked with another ring, so that is definitely another one of my most used pieces. And I have also been really enjoying, this is the Ush Dunk ring, which is inspired by the Shantung pattern, but instead of the Shantung, there is a tiny little H in there, which is set with pavé diamonds. So I am also still a big fan of my Hermes rings. There was one that I was looking at buying last year, but I didn't, and now it went up by I think $300 or $400 with the new price increase. So that is not something that I think I can justify buying at this point. But anyway, I didn't put these on my list. I didn't track wearing these, but I probably wore these quite a bit last week too, and that I don't see changing anytime soon. But these have been some of my most used Hermes pieces. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Please let me know what pieces from Hermes you have been reaching for most often. I am really curious to hear, because for me, I'm not the type of collector who just wants to own things. I want to make sure that the pieces I spend my money on, I can actually put to use. Are you the same way, or are you more into spending money on things that are just beautiful and you just enjoy the experience of owning them? There's nothing wrong with that, so I cannot wait to hear from you. And while you're down there, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I really appreciate you being here and watching, and I hope to see you back here with a new video really soon. Speaking of which, my upload schedule might be a little bit all over the place over the next couple of weeks because I am doing some entry exams to college. So I will of course continue doing videos, but you might not see a video from me on Sunday. There might be a video going live on Tuesday instead, but I will try my best to share 2 videos still. I'm just not sure when they will be going live, but hopefully everything will be uninterrupted. But if something happens, I just wanted you to be aware that I'm not going anywhere. I'll be back and I will continue posting twice a week, but the upload schedule might be a little bit haphazard in the coming weeks. But anyway, I'll let you go. Thank you for being here and watching, and I hope to see you back here with a new video really, really soon.